How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review and a little bit of American Wheat Ale time in the form of Gnarly Barley Brewing. It is their Line Up American Wheat Ale. First exposure to this brewery. Never had anything from these guys before because they're not from my area. They're from New Orleans. I got a big beer bomb from Corey from down in New Orleans, something like that. I don't know how he said it. Anyway, sent me off. Jesus, God, what was it? A bunch of beers, let's put it that way. And, yeah, this is one of them. First one I actually had that bunch, so let's dive into it. As far as what it says on the can itself, it says, brewed and canned by Gnarly Barley Brewing, Lines Up, American Wheat Ale. It is 4.5% alcohol by volume. Brewed in Hammond, Louisiana, and that'd be that. Flavor-wise, it's alright. Nothing too crazy, you know, I'm not really keen on the graphic style they're putting on there, but, you know. American Wheat Ale. Had the dodgy experiences with American Wheat. Sometimes they treat me right, sometimes they treat me wrong. I would probably say more times than not they've treated me wrong. Not necessarily thinking it's a style issue more than it is a I don't know issue. Let's put it that way. Two fingers. Just off-weight head, nice creaminess to it, pretty tight compact bubbles, and she's got haze for days. I mean, she looks like a New England style IPA, but I mean, to get that in a wheat beer, you know, Americanized version of such, not out of the norm. Let's put it that way. Usually, I mean, wheat beers aren't this kind of turbid, but man, she even got a nose on her. Ooh, that smells really nice. This is, I'm guessing this is kind of like their kind of twist on a American wheat beer because it smells more like an IPA. It smells like a hop forward pale or an IPA. I'm assuming what they're doing is a kind of wheat beer. That's where you're getting the body, the density in there, that turbidness. But then they're kind of throwing some hops in there, hence the Americanized version of the beer. Because what I'm getting in here is sweet kind of pear. I'm getting pear. I'm getting peach. It's soft, not overly fruity, just kind of sugary kind of fruitiness. Like if you ever get like a super overripened pear, that kind of vibe. Nose wise, a little bit of like a weedy kind of grainy kind of malt to it, but it's very subtle, definitely below that kind of sweetness. But yeah, just based off nose, leans way more like kind of like a pale ale than it does an actual wheat beer. But she smells pretty good. So she looks good, she smells good. Let's see if she tastes good. Cheers. That's tasty. A lot of what I got in the nose there didn't come through in the mouth. You do get that kind of pear vibe from it still. You just think it would be a little bit bigger based off of what I got in the nose. It definitely comes off more wheat beer and pale ale, but it's a definite Americanized version of a wheat beer, and that you're not getting a lot of that kind of overt spiciness, overt pepperiness, none of that kind of banana vibes you typically get from your kind of European, more specifically German style wheat beers. There's a pronounced bitterness to it, so there is hops at play here outside of, again, your traditional German Saudi style hops. But again, that's not a German wheat, it's an Americanized wheat. What does that make it? And I guess that's where American wheats kind of jumped the shark for me. Not even jumped the shark, but just, there is no kind of set, even though there's BJCP rules, I don't go by that shit. There's like a more kind of loose interpretation of what the beer could be. And that's where it's false. Definitely getting that white pear vibe out of the whole thing. That's the biggest thing I'm getting out of it. Kind of take that banana that you typically get out of a lot of your European wheat beers and replace that with kind of white pear. Nothing overtly fruity, kind of like that little bit of over-ripened kind of pear sweetness that I was talking about. A bit of bitterness from those hops. Generic bitterness, but a bitterness kind of bounce off some of that sweetness. And there's a wheat vibe to the taste too. Nothing too crazy. But that pear thing, that white pear thing, just rings throughout the whole beer. Let's talk about it. Is it one of the better American wheat beers I've had as of late? Yeah, because I don't remember the last one I had. Is it one of the better wheat beers I've had? Yeah. I still prefer Germans, but man, just the funness of it. Let's put it that way. The funness of this wheat beer and what it's doing is pretty fucking cool, to be perfectly honest with you. So I dig it for that sense. So yeah, it's definitely a tasty jam. Value and availability, no idea. It was sent to me. Maybe Corey or somebody else can chime down there. And let's leave it with if you like what we like this. If you like your wheat beers, but you actually prefer pears over bananas, it kind of has that thing going for it. If you're into interesting beers, well-made beers, because that's what it is. There's really not much negative going on there. And honestly, that pear thing does it for me. Pears are my favorite fruit, especially ripened one. And that's what I'm getting off this, ripened white pear. So if you're into those kind of flavors, definitely worth picking up because it's tasty. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. If you didn't, anywhere in between, down there, words and stuff. This dude. Social media, Massive Beers, all one word. Plug it in that shit, find me other places. And, yeah, there you go. Another review in the books. So hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully enjoying a nice pear drink right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.